in last lecture of the subject manufacturing technology, and in that one we have started our discussion on metal
सर
casting.
आवाज वो ब्रेक करने से
Just a minute. So we have started our discussion uh, on molding sand, and in that one we have talked about various what is the use of molding sand and what are the various types of molding sand. So natural sand, synthetic sand, and special sand. So natural sand, as we talked, that it is a sand which is used as we get directly from the resource, and in that one we have a 5 to 20 percentage clay and 5 to 8 percentage of water is used, and generally it will useful for cast iron and non ferrous casting. Then second is a synthesis sand. In that one, uh, it consists of a natural sand with or without clay, moisture, and binder like bentonites, and it will be useful for steel and other ferrous and non-ferrous alloy casting. Then we talk about special sand. In that one, we talked about green sand, loam sand, core sand, parting sand, facing sand, baking sand. So these are the some of the special sand that what we have discussed. And finally, we talk about the flowability and plasticity, means the property of the molding sand. The first property of the molding sand is the flowability or plasticity. Second one is a green strength. Then third property is a dry strength. Fourth property permeability or porosity. Fifth property refractoriness, adhesiveness, cohesiveness, thermal stability, and collapsibility. So these are the some of the important property which that sand should have, or that depends upon the requirement. That property is to be acquired by the sand, so that all the process of casting which can be performed smoothly to carry out a mold. Then the next important topic we are going to study about is a core. So core is a sand shape or form which makes the contour of a casting, for which no provision has been made in the pattern for molding. Okay, so sometime we have to make certain contour, or that which is difficult, or we cannot make it in a pattern itself, but still we require into our mold. So in that case, we make some form or shape of the sand and put it inside the mold, and that form of the sand or that form is known as a no core. And generally this core is made up of sand, plaster, metal, or ceramic. Okay, so this core can be made up of different material as required, depends upon the requirement. Okay, so it will be made up either of sand, plastic, metal, or ceramic. And core is an obstruction which, when positioned in the mold, and it does not permit the molten poured metal to fill the space occupied by the core, and hence produce hollow casting. Okay, so this is the use of the core. What core will do? Core will produce a hollow casting. And how it will produce the hollow casting? Because the core, when it is positioned into the mold, it will create a obstruction. Okay, and the space where we fit the core, that space is not to be filled by this molten metal. Okay, and that's why that particular space that will remain empty, and hence we can produce a hollow cavity. So the use of the core is to produce a hollow casting. Okay, so in each and every casting process, we do not use core. The core is used only when we require a hollow casting or we require a certain hollow shape in the casting. So that hollow portion or that hollow casting which is produced by use of a core, and cores are used as insert in the mold. Okay, so it will be used as an insert because it will be inserted externally instead of that pattern, or there will be some gap in that one, that core will be fixed. Okay, so there will we have to provide a core sheet in that mold, and it will be inserted in that mold. What is the function of the core? That the core provides a mean of forming the main interval cavity for hollow casting. Okay, so again, this is important that we are talking about the hollow casting only. Then and then we are using the core. Okay, so what core will provide, or what is the function of the core? That it will provide a means of forming the main internal cavity for a hollow casting. Core provides external undercut feature. Okay, so that is also one function of the core. It will provide external undercut feature. Cores can be inserted to obtain deep recesses in the casting. So when we want to produce deep recess in the casting, okay, so in that case we can use core. Core can be used to increase the strength of the mold, because core is made up of the sand itself, or core may be made up of either sand, plaster, metal or ceramic. So all the component which having a high strength, so that they will provide a support when it will be used into the mold. So the core will provide a support so that the strength of the mold will increase, and it can be used as a part of gating system. The core itself can be used as a part of a gating system. What is gating system? That we are going to see in our subsequent slide, or maybe in upcoming lecture. Okay, so that gating system, what is gating system, that we will discuss there. But here we should understand that it should be a part of that gating assembly, and it can form a part of green sand mold, and can also be used to improve the mold surface. It can form a part of green sand mold and can also be used to improve the mold surface. So these are the some of the function that the core will provide. Then what are the essential characteristics of the core? That it should have sufficient strength to support itself without breaking. As we know that the core is generally made up of sand. Okay, and the core, when we fix into the mold cavity, it should have a sufficient strength that so that it will not break down in that mold box. Okay, so that is the must criteria. Then it should have high permeability and high refractoriness. So now we can easily understand that what is why it is a high permeability is required, because the core that will be fixed inside the hollow cavity, and as you talked earlier that when the uh, molten metal that will be poured inside the hollow cavity, okay, so it has certain gases, okay, that will be escaped. At the same time, whatever the water around or whatever the sand which is around that molten metal, it contains certain amount of moisture, so it will be converted into steam. So all that steam and gases that should be escaped out from the hollow cavity, and that's why the permeability is required. So what is the requirement here? The requirement is that the core should have a high permeability so that the gases can easily escape out from the hollow cavity, and it should have a high refractoriness so that it should not affected by the heat of the molten metal, it will not get cracked. Okay, it will do not have any chemical action with respect to that molten metal. Then it should have smooth surface to ensure a smooth casting, because the outer periphery of that core, that will be in direct contact with the metal. So if the core do not have a smooth surface, then it will not going to produce a smooth surface into the casting. So the core that what we have used here, it should have a smooth surface so that we can have a smooth casting. Then it should have a high collapsibility to assist the free contraction of the solidifying metal. It should have a high collapsibility. So collapsibility means it can be easily break after the contraction, okay, or solidifying the metal, so that we can generate a hollow cavity. And it should have those ingredients which does not generate mold gases, because in that one we use certain ingredients. So that ingredients are such that they do not generate any gas, because we are trying to reduce the gases. Because if the amount of gas generated is higher, then the it may be chance that the gas which may be trapped into the molten metal, so that it can generate a bubble, or it can generate a defect into the casting. So that we have to use the material or ingredients in the core such a way that it do not generate mold gases. Then what is the application of the core? So core and its form increase the versatility of mold process and operation. And in addition to recess forming and hole in the casting, cores are used. Okay, so where we use, in addition to recess forming and hole forming into the casting, we can use the core. Okay, so core are used for mold making. Core can be used as a strainer, gates, and pouring cup. Cores are used for increasing production from the match plate pattern. Cores can be used as a core mold in centrifugal casting process. Also, it can be used as a slab core for increasing casting output for from one mold. Okay, so this is the application where we can use the cores. So there are various types of core having a different design and different size, that will be used in different kinds of work in the foundry application. And there are certain general classification of that cores that is listed over here. So first is a horizontal core, second one is a vertical core, third one is a hanging core, fourth one is a balanced core, fifth one a ram up core, and finally kiss core. So first, horizontal core. So as we know that this is the mold, this is the mold, or it is a hollow cavity all around filled by the sand. And now in that one we fill, or we put the core in such a way that its axis is lies in horizontal direction, then it will be termed as a horizontal core. Okay, so here we know that this is the parting line, so this is the cope and drag. Okay, and in that one we have this parting line, and after removing the pattern, we have a hollow cavity, and in that hollow cavity we have fixed that core. So a horizontal core is positioned horizontally into the mold, and according to the shape of the cavity required in the casting, a horizontal core may be of any type. Okay, so it is not necessary that this symmetrical shape or some particular shape can be generated. Any shape in horizontal direction which can be made as a horizontal core. Okay, and uniformly section horizontal core are mostly placed at a parting line. Okay, so some simply this one is the, you can see it is a symmetrical uh, horizontal core which is placed at the parting line. This is the parting line. Okay, and it is symmetrically put. But For an unsymmetric part also we can use this horizontal core. Okay, so sometime suppose we have some core shape like this. Okay, so though it is a horizontal, but it is not symmetrical. But such kind of shape which can also be uh, fixed, or which kind of core, horizontal core, which is also used in the casting. Okay, so that is the first type of core, that is horizontal core. And this question, the types of core and application of core, that is frequently asked in exam. That's why it is one of the important question for exam point of view. And whenever it will be asked in exam, you have to draw a neat and clear sketch of each and every core. Then and then you will get some good marks. Okay, so whenever it is given, you have to or ask, you have to draw a proper diagram. So this is horizontal core. Then second is a vertical core. It is similar to horizontal core except that it is fitted in the mold with its axis vertical. Okay, so this is the axis of this vertical core. The top end of the core is provided with more amount of taper, okay, to have a smooth fitting of the cope on the core. Okay, so this top surface, that will give one more taper as compared to this one. It will give one more taper as compared to this one, because we have to fix that cope. Okay, and to easy fitting of that cope, the large taper is, or the more taper is given to the top surface as compared to the lower one. And a major portion of the vertical core gradually remains in the drag. Okay, so here you can see this is the, this one is the drag. Okay, and this one is a cope, and this one is the parting line. Okay, parting line from which this uh, cope and drag will be separated. Okay, so here you can see that parting line is in horizontal, it is in a center. This is the parting line. Okay, while here the parting line is here and your axis will be here. So you can see that this portion, the maximum portion of the core, that will be in a drag. Okay, while small portion, that will be in the cope, and the cope or whatever be the top surface, that will given a more taper, so that the cope can be easily fitted while we fix the core. Okay, so this is the vertical core. Then third one is a hanging core. So from the name suggests, it is hanging. So here this one is the drag. Okay, and this one is the core, cope. This one is the cope and this one is the drag. Now here we know that this one is the hollow cavity. This one, whatever be initially I am drawing, that is the hollow cavity. And now in that hollow cavity, we want to put the core. Okay, so you can see this core is hanged from here, from this one and from this one, while this portion, that is not in contact with anyone. Okay, it is hanging. This portion is hanging with respect to this portion. Okay, so these two ends, that will be fixed into the sand, so that it will be hanging. And now in this gap, we fill the molten metal, and after solidifying, we remove this core, so that we can have a hollow cavity of this shape. So this is how we can use the hanging core. It supports from above and it hangs vertically into the mold cavity, and it has no support from the bottom. So as you can see here in this diagram, though it is here, but it is supported from these two ends. These two ends, that will be supported to the core, but this bottom portion which is not supported by any portion. Okay, so that's why it is hanging, and they are provided with a hole through which the molten metal reaches the cavity. Okay, so we have to fill this hollow cavity. Okay, and how this hollow cavity will be filled? So there are certain holes. Okay, there will be some holes is provided, and through that hole the molten metal will pass, and then it will be solidified, and we can have the product. So this is the hanging core. Then balanced core. Balanced core. So balanced core is supported and balanced from its one end only. Here you can see that this horizontal core is supported from two ends. This is the one end from which it is supported, and this is the second end from which it is supported by the sand, while the other portion, this portion, that will be hanging into the hollow cavity. Okay, so it is supported by these two ends, but here it is supported but only one end. Okay, so you can see it is supported only from this side, and this portion which is not supported by any supporting action. So in that case it is known as a balanced core. It is well balanced in that hollow cavity by one support only, and it requires long core seat. As we know that the long core seat is required because it is hanging from one side. Okay, it do not have any support from other side. Okay, so we have to provide a sufficient amount of core seat so that the core does not fall. Otherwise, if we just give this one portion, and if we hang it more, then it may chance that from this one, from this, it may fall down. Okay, so that's why the core seat that will be larger in this case of a balance uh, uh, core, and it may also be supported by chaplets. So sometimes we use some chaplets to support that core. Okay, what is chaplet, that we will discuss in our subsequent lecture. Okay, but here you have to understand that chaplet, it is a support which is provided to the core. Okay, so in this case we sometimes we require these chaplets. Then next one is a ram up core. Ram up core. So ram up core is placed in the sand along with pattern before ramming the mold. Okay, so here important thing is that with that pattern, it is put into the core. Okay, so ram up core is placed in the sand along with pattern. While all in this case, what happened? First, we put the pattern, we fill the sand, then we take out the pattern, and then we put the core. Okay, so core will be put in a hollow cavity, while here with the pattern, the core is directly put into the sand, and it is used to make internal or external details of the casting. Okay, so sometime this internal, now you want to put that core inside. So how it can be possible to put that core into inside? So in that case, it is directly fit with that pattern so that it can generate some internal or external casting, and it cannot be placed in the mold after the mold has been rammed. Okay, so that's why it cannot be put once we create a hollow cavity. In that we cannot put it. We have, if we want to put it, we have to put it along with the pattern when we start our uh, ramming action. So this is known as a ram up core. Then next one is a kiss core. So it does not require core seats for getting support. Okay, and it is held in position between the drag and cope due to the pressure exerted by core on the drag. Okay, so here we are not providing seat. Okay, we are not providing a big seat, that what we have seen in all this case. Okay, it just touches it, and it is held in position between this. Here you can see these are the core. So that core will be held in position between this cope and drag by use of the force which is provided by the core on the drag. Okay, so that due to that force, only that whatever the force provided or that cope will provide whatever the force to the core, and due to that force it will be remain in position between this cope and drag. And to obtain a number of holes in the casting, a number of key scores can be simultaneously positioned. Okay, so here once you fill the once you fill the molten metal inside the hollow cavity, and after that you will break this core, so you have two holes. But now if you want more number of holes, so you will put more cores in between, so that we can have a number of holes like this. Okay, so if you put 5 cores and then you fill the molten metal and you break the core, we have a total 5 holes. Okay, so this how this key score can be used. And last one is a drop core. So drop core is also called as a stop off core. Drop core is also called as a stop off core. So here you can see it is dropped. Okay, see it is dropped from the drop in such a way that it can having a shape like this. Okay, so it is used to make a cavity which cannot be made with other type of core. Okay, so there are certain uh, cavity which we cannot produce by any of this core. In that case we have to go for a drop core, and it is used when a hole, recess or cavity required in the casting is not in line with the parting line. Okay, so this is the important thing. It is used when a hole recess, means you can see this is the hole what we want to create over here. This is our casting. Okay, and in that one we want to create a hole in between here. So in that one, the hole recess or cavity which is not in line with this parting line, and our parting line is here. Our parting line is here, and we want to make a hollow or hole or recess here into the cavity. So in that case we have to just make the drop core of this shape simply, because generally this parting from that parting line we apply the core. Okay, so that's why from that parting line we just put the core of that dimension in such a way that it will be exactly located at this position, and then if we fill the molten metal we have a hole generated at this particular position. Okay, so this is the example of a drop core. So these are the 7 types of core which is used in many of these application of the uh, metal casting. Okay, so today we have talked about the importance of core. Okay, what is the function of core, what are the some various essential characteristics of the core, what are the application of the core, and the different types of core. And we also talked about that each and every core uh, in detail with their diagram. So this is enough for today, and when we will meet next time we will talk some new topic.